Good morning, guys. We're finally back. Last week was a little hectic, a little light. Most people, celebrating Thanksgiving. Now we're back to a full work week. And Bitcoin and the rest of the market is kind of stagnant, but the one loner that's bucking against the trend, and that happens to be VeChain. It is pumping up pretty big, but how high can it really go? Let's discuss. Welcome, guys. Happy Monday, and welcome to today's Bitcoin and cryptocurrency news. I am George. So, like I said, now it's a full work week. Maybe it's still lighter. Some of you guys may still be on vacation, but overall, we're past Thanksgiving for now. So, we're going into December now. We got 1 month left of this year. What is Bitcoin and the rest of the market going to do? Are we going to see that year-end rally? Are we going to see a huge pump moving into 2020? Fingers crossed. I'm looking forward to it. But in the meantime, we have altcoins to hold us down. And the one I want to concentrate on is VeChain today, because they did have a partnership release. And I think a lot of people didn't quite understand the significance of it, and it is pretty big, which is why it's going. And of course, there's FOMO that's coming into VeChain now that it is pumping. But it's been a project I've been talking about for over 2 years now, and it just continues to impress me. And finally, it has caught some attention. So let's see how high it could really go. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you smash up the likes. Smash it up. The more you do so, the more it's going to help the crypto community. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe bell. All right, so let's take a look. Let's start with CMC right now. Overall market still below 200 billion. BTC dominance climbed up slightly, 66.6%. That's not a good number. 666. That's not a good number at all. But Bitcoin is right around 7,300. Still, Bitcoin is just not having any momentum at this point. And most of the altcoins, as you can see, is following Bitcoin's trend. Ethereum, XRP. XRP is almost down to 20 cents. You got Litecoin that's below 50. EOS that's below $3 at 270. And Binance coin at 15. Stellar and Tron, they're both down 3 to 4%. Cardano's down. You get my picture, right? Tezos is down, Chainlink is down, Cosmos is down. Today is one of those days. It's not too bad. I mean, of course, it could swing right back up tomorrow. But today, things are looking pretty bad. Until you scroll down to number 25, and that is VeChain up for 16%. And that is today alone, not counting this weekend. And it is now hovering above Ontology. And that margin is building up. Soon, can it go up to 19? To where Neo is at 638 million? Yeah. Can it go up to Chainlink 730 million? Yeah. Can it go to 987 billion or million where Cardano is and finally reach 1 billion, 1.2 billion? I think so. Not right away, but I definitely think so. So why do I think that? Well, let's talk about the news first of all. Okay, what was the big news? And some of you guys may not find this significant, but I think this opens the door for big things happening down the road. So VeChain Thor blockchain will host Microsoft-backed release of 1980s game book. So I was born early 80s, okay? So I was too young for some of this. But some of you guys may remember this. The Way of the Tiger, one of the game book genre pioneers and a true 1980s legend, will be released with non-fungible tokens on VeChain Thor. And Microsoft is on board. That's a very good thing when they say Microsoft is on board. All right, so Way of the Tiger was released by award-winning author Jamie Thompson in the 1980s, reveals a story of fantasy world where readers become a young samurai who takes on a journey to avenge his foster father and recover stolen artifacts. So it sounds to me like one of those fantasy books / games right? Where you're going on an adventure, and then you could also possibly collect items and actually battle with each other. Because I'm thinking about what this quote is saying. Imagine playing Magic the Gathering, but knowing that if you own the card, it really belong to you, right? I think that's very significant. There's a lot of, I know still people play Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering or Pokemon, right? There's a lot of cards involved. Some of them are really rare, right? Imagine tokenizing all that or putting it on a blockchain so that, you know what, you have a digital version. It's yours, right? No one else can ever take it away from you. That's what I'm thinking this is leading up to. The Way of the Tiger sounds like it's similar. Again, this was a little bit beyond me since I was so young back then. But still, it sounds like that. Right, and I think this is a big deal because you do have a big author and you have a couple big gaming companies too. I don't know if it's in this article or another article. It actually reveals the two gaming companies that are maybe it's not this article. There's another one. Oh, here we go. Eidos and Fable will join forces with IT mogul Microsoft to develop this game. So this is definitely a big step in the right direction. Of course, we have heard of other companies like Tron and Neo and Ethereum and EOS. They're getting into gaming, right? But none of them are really that big with well-known companies and authors behind it. So I think this is pretty big. Of course, this is just one of the many things that was released about VeChain recently in the last 2 years. And those of you guys that are new to VeChain should definitely look into it. This company is just on a roll. And right now, what's also helping is this momentum and this FOMO building up with VeChain. It's definitely helping. Every single piece of news that's coming out with VeChain right now is pumping it to the moon. So, is that a good thing? Yeah. Yes, I would say so right now. Once it gets in the top 10, maybe not so much. But right now, seeing where it is, yeah. So currently, this is what happened, ever since this release, right? But previously, going back to about October 27th, so a little bit over a month ago, this is what started happening. But previously, this was what was happening. VeChain was going down, 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 down. So it is starting to gain that momentum back. So like I said, so right now, this phase, FOMO, is not a bad thing. And where is it overall? Well, I showed you guys the number 25 on the list, right? So at 431 million, that's not shabby. That's a bigger mid cap, right? It's still mid cap, not a big cap. But I've always maintained that I think VeChain should be in the top 10, at least the very, very least in the top 10 of CMC. They are that good. They have that much traction. They have a working product, and they have partnerships that is already utilizing the blockchain and the tokens. This is not something waiting to be developed. It is already here. So if you look at top 10, Stellar, Tron, Cardano, they're kind of fighting for that 10th spot, but they're all around $1 billion, give or take a few hundred million. So where does that put VeChain? At the very least, I think it could climb up to 1.1, 1.2 billion. So that's still at least 3x from where it is now. Will it go up there by next week? No, it's not going to do that. There will be up and downs. There will be up and downs. Even during this climb, take a look. There's a lot of up and downs, right? These are pretty significant downs. But because of that momentum behind it, it is still carrying up and up and up. So I do think that, over time, moving into 2020, we will see VeChain continue its momentum, and let's see when it could hit in top 10. It could be pretty soon. It could be sooner than we expect. And some of you guys that like to read charts or like to read indicators, there's a couple things that's pretty bullish too. I didn't notice until I just checked it right before the stream. VeChain actually just formed a golden cross. It was in a death cross for a long, long, long time. And right there on November 30th, which is only 3 days ago, it actually formed a bullish cross or a golden cross. So that's actually very bullish on the day chart. And also something else that's, short-term bullishness is that it's holding above the EMA 21. And whenever you see coins that are really bullish, this is usually what happens, where it'll go up it'll dip down, and then the EMA 21 becomes a support, and you can see this happen over here. It happened over here. So next time it comes down, it's probably going to hit again. Maybe it goes down to 89, 90 Satoshis and then continue back up. Who knows? But on the stochastic and RSI, still on the way up. Looks like there's still room to grow before it's ready for a breather, like around right here, right? There could be a big breather, but I know one thing. I think this momentum behind it's not gonna go away anytime soon. So for me, I know I'm gonna be taking advantage of those dips and weaknesses in the future. So big things happening for VeChain, but there are other pieces of news. So let me move towards those. So what else is going on? What about Bitcoin today? Or what about Bitcoin in general? Well, according to a new company, hodlers are insane. 64% of the Bitcoin supply has not moved since 2018. Well, this is only going back a year, but it shows that right now what's going on with pricing, right? What, with the weakness that's going on right now, it's not really from the hodlers. It's not from capitulation. It's more from probably the miners, right? It's also from the whales, possibly Wall Street manipulating things. But those of you guys that believe in holding Bitcoin for life-changing wealth, right, and just holding it for long term, well, you're not fazed by this. And this shows 64% of supply has not moved from 2018. I wonder what this is if you go back further, like 2017 or 2016, 15, right? And seeing if this percentage increases or decreases. It'll be interesting. But it kind of shows you guys, those of you guys that are holding strong, you're continuing to hold strong, so good for you. And those of you guys that like to keep track of gaps, there is one gap, and this is a good one actually, because before we always look at gaps that are going down in a bad way, but there's a good one. 7,800 is unfilled futures gap on the CME. So what does that mean? Are we go shoot up to 7,800? Quite possibly, and we're not far off. We're at 73, 7,400. So going up $400, it can happen on a whim. So can we fill it? Definitely. But I still don't like this filling the gap thing. It's just I don't like it. I don't know why it happens, but it seems like it always fulfills itself. So I guess this is a good one. And we still have one left, like a 11,000 one. I remember 11,200, something like that no one seems to talk about. But that is a gap that's unfulfilled as well. So near term, I don't know what's going to happen with Bitcoin. It's just kind of stagnant. I think you guys are thinking the same thing. I had someone on Twitter that asked me, what's the point? What's the point of Bitcoin if it doesn't go up? And I wanted to respond, but I didn't, because yes, there is a point. There's many points. But you know what? Like all things, good things come to those that wait. That has been the history of Bitcoin. And if you don't believe that, then it's not for you. But it's the same thing with all investments. There are investments that people hold decades for before seeing any true gains. And right now, people are waiting for it. And just like this article, true holders, they're waiting for it. It's okay to wait a year or 2 or 3. Because compared to everything else, it's still way, 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 way better and faster. So that's one point. All right, moving on. VeChain was just 51% attacked again. Unfortunately, hey, Alan. Unfortunately, VeChain was one of those coins that was attacked last year, almost around the same time this year again. So there's 553 blocks that was ridden that overridden 603 blocks. So I don't know what they did. They did some double spending and so forth. But this is what unfortunately happens with a lot of the smaller proof of work coins out there, where you could just run a lot of hashing power, immediately get 51% and start attacking the network. So unfortunately, there's companies like this, VeChain, that just can't solve it. Their claim to fame is they're more like litecoin, but better. I remember having arguments with VeChain holders back in 2017 that say they're so much better than Litecoin because they're ASIC resistant. Because, they changed some algorithm that's ASIC resistant. Well, good for them. It doesn't help them against 51% attacks. But to be fair, Litecoin and Bitcoin can both be 51% attack too. But it's just that the network is so big and the market cap is so high to be able to do a 51% attack on Litecoin certainly could be possible if you have some global corporation or country that's trying to do it. To do it on Bitcoin is nearly impossible, although theoretically it could be possible, but practically just not possible. So that's one of the things that's good about size with proof of work coins, is that that actually does matter. All right, moving on, you got Binance. Binance is launching a new IEO. It's called Troy. And this story is not so much, I didn't really care about the IEO part, okay? But basically, it's a company that's trying to become a crypto brokerage. They go offer margin trading, spot trading, derivatives, storage, data, and lending. So they're trying to become a mini Binance or a mini Backed or something like that, right? Kind of all in one thing. But what's interesting is Binance is coming out with a new internal transfer feature, which I think is really cool. Binance has launched a new feature allowing users to transfer seamlessly between Binance accounts. If a user withdraw assets from their Binance account to existing Binance deposit address, this will be recognized as an internal transfer and will be processed without the need for any block confirmations, and also have zero transfer fees. Basically, you're transferring from one Binance address to another. You don't have to wait for confirmations. They will just immediately allow you to transfer through, which is kind of cool. And Binance is probably the only one that could do this because they have so many services between Binance Dex, Binance US, Binance Jersey, and all these other ones and so forth. So they're actually probably the only exchange that really needs this. And then lastly, Nalex, which is part of the Null's team. He tweeted this. I think this is interesting. That out of the total circulating supply for Null, 78 million circulating supply, 42 million, over 53%, is staked. So those of you guys, just like Bitcoin holders, those of you guys that are Null supporters and holders, what are you doing in the meantime? You're staking it for staking rewards, and that's a pretty good thing. All right, I think that's pretty much it. I'll turn it back to you guys for some Q&A. Off topic, did I buy the Batman Lego car? I did. And I tweeted that out and I started building it. It is massive. It's like, the frame is like this big. So, I actually finally have some time to build it, so I'm going to try to finish it up. But there's like 24 bags. Because most of the time, either I'm doing crypto or I'm focusing on my car channel. I have very little time to build Legos, but I'm going to try to, find some time because there's a lot of cool sets. Do you believe in 4K Bitcoin this year? I hope so. Yes, no, I don't believe so. I don't think. I think 4K is beyond this year. Or if you're talking about 2019, if you're talking about 2020, I just don't see it. But maybe, possibly, when we were 6K earlier, in 2018, I didn't think we would go to 3,000, and we did. But One thing's for sure, it's not going to change my mind. It's not going to change people that are holders. Because if you believe in Bitcoin, it doesn't matter. Short-term volatility might not be moving, it might be going down, but every time it comes back up, and I'm still going to believe the same thing. Do I need help with portfolio assistance, AWS? No, I don't. My partner handles that. Is there Bitcoin Lego? No, I should just build a custom one. Do you think VeChain will retrace to 0.05 and VeChain estimate for 2020? I think it certainly can retrace. And we have seen the last few weeks, last month, we have seen big retraces, right? So this is a pretty significant one that came down. And then again, we have one here. So this one is a pretty crazy pump. So once this pump ends, right, maybe we go a little bit higher. We'll probably come back down, probably around 90 cent, right? Right now it's hovering. It's utilizing the EMA 21 as a support. So we could probably see it go down 87, 88, 89, 90 Satoshi around that level before going back up again. We could certainly see that. But we could certainly see more gains because RSI is not really topped out yet. It didn't top out like last time, so we can see more. And it really depends on if more good news like this. It seems like every week or two now there's something going on. But previously, when this was happening, there was a lot of news like this coming out. But no one paid attention. It had no effect. This is why it did this. So while it's going down, people are like, what's going on in VeChain, right? But if you look at the potential, even in 2019, we're nowhere close to the highs of 2019. It got up to 157 Satoshi, and we're only at 102 right now. So that's a 50% margin that we can get to, right? That's 50%. That's huge from where we are now, and that only puts us around 600 million mark. That's where Neo would be, right? And after that, then we got a lot more to go. So this is only the beginning, which is why I really also like this opportunity, because you got to see some of these momentum shifts, right? Especially I kind of said that a few weeks ago or a month ago when President Xi from China said they're going bullish on blockchain, right? The first thing that came to mind is, this is an opportunity for VeChain. It's surprising that some of the other ones like Tron, Neo, Ontology, they had their pumps, but they kind of just lost it. But I could also see, like, for example, Neo, right, is still working on Neo 3.0. They don't really have anything else going for it. You don't see adoption. So they're kind of like Cardano, where people are just waiting and holding and waiting for 3.0 to come out. Ontology has more adoption, but you know what? VeChain has the biggest companies signed up. It has so much ties with Chinese government, so it just makes sense that VeChain is going to be the one, especially seeing how low they were too, the one that was going to benefit the most, and we're seeing that now. So it's still early, but I can certainly see, can it hit 150 right here? The previous all-time high back in April. I can certainly see that. And then afterwards, there's a lot of room to grow. VeChain on BitTrue Exchange gives 7.3% interest and a few VeChain for every 10K you hold. Wow. That's actually a good amount of interest. But I never heard of BitTrue before, so. UHD, I kind of just gave it to you right there. So hopefully that helps you. What will happen by the end of 2020? That's going to be interesting, because if BTC starts rallying hard after the halving event, it could have a big effect on the rest of the altcoins in either a good way or a bad way. Altcoin season really doesn't come around until the tail end of Bitcoin, right? But when Bitcoin goes up, sometimes the money flows into the altcoin. So it'll be interesting to see. After the halving event in May, leading up to the end of the year in 2020, if Bitcoin starts having its huge, tremendous rally up, it could suck up the money from altcoins already, which would be unfortunate because altcoins are already kind of drained. But we could have the opposite effect, where some of that goes into the alts. But seeing what Bitcoin does, it's kind of hard to predict where VeChain will be at the end of the year 2020. But if this trend continues, and China comes out and says they embrace blockchain like we all anticipate they will, they're going to come out their digital currency. They're going to get all the companies and investors to invest into blockchain companies based in China. And if they give somehow their official endorsement to VeChain, VeChain will explode to top 5, top 3 possibly, if that happens, if they get some kind of official endorsement. So the sky is the limit there. But, that's perfect scenarios, right? Best case scenarios. Doesn't mean that it's going to happen. Brian, I have heard of Celsius Network, and I would say in terms of DeFi space, they're kind of leaders of the space. Um, Alex, it's Alex or Alexis, the CEO of Celsius. He was basically the founder of VoIP for AT&T. Smart guy, and they're doing all the right things. Here's the thing about DeFi that I don't like, and I've shared this opinion. This is my opinion, and I could be completely off base. But I feel like they only exist because there are certain people in the space that likes to take advantage of borrowing, leveraging, playing with money that they don't have, right? Kind of like exchanges that offer huge leverage, because they win either way. Exchanges win either way. If you make money or you lose money on trades, they win. They collect fees. And it's the same thing with leverage. But leverage makes it so that it gets people to trade more because you get liquidated. You can't even hold it. So then you have to trade more to, say, recover your losses. DeFi products kind of the same way. The only reason why they can offer you interest is because, on the other hand, people are putting out collateral to borrow money. And if that collateral goes down, they have to cover. And if they can't cover, then their crypto gets liquidated once again. And that's why DeFi products survive, like Celsius. That's why they can offer 10% interest for certain coins, right? It's because they're taking advantage of that. So they kind of win either way. That's why DeFi services are now one of the biggest in the world. Biggest in the crypto world, I should say. And that's why everyone's trying to get involved. Wallet makers are getting involved, like Crypto.com or Monaco is doing that too. A lot of players are doing it because it's a cash cow, right? But on the other hand, these people that are borrowing money to actually play more crypto with, I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if most people in the space are amateurs. Even if they say they're pros, it's hard to say what the crypto market is going to do from one day to the next, right? So I don't know. That's my only thing. That's my only thing on DeFi. I'm not so sure it's actually a good thing for the space. Any Dentacoin news? I have not checked Dentacoin for a while. Where are they now? They're still holding at 13 million. This is still way better than they should be. This is just ridiculous. 540 billion out of 8 trillion. I still don't get what their master plan is. Think about how much DCN they still have waiting to be released. They're only at 500 billion, which is a lot, out of 8 trillion. That's just insane. But you got a lot of strong dentists that's still holding. Will there be one final flush for maximum pain before BTC takes off? It could be. It could happen. We've certainly seen it before, and I was wrong saying that wouldn't happen. So I'm just going to say it could happen, will likely happen. Can we push lower from the 7,000s? Yeah, I could see us going to 6,000, but going from 6,000 to 4,000, that's going to be hard. You got a lot of things holding. For example, miners kind of holding its ground, right? Can we see miners capitulate and sell off? Yeah, possibly, but I just don't see us there yet. I just don't see us there yet. But can it happen? Yeah. Do you think Kin is dead? I think so. They're not gonna win their fight against the SEC. That's a losing battle, and I think they only did that because they have nothing else to do. Because they're a dying product anyways. Their best bet is to sell to someone like Tron. I think Tron probably would scoop them up for a good amount. I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of true, Brian. Can they be crypto banks in the future? Possibly, but that's only because they're unregulated right now, right? Once the governments crack down on it and force them to operate like banks, that's where it could all change. And can it happen? Yeah, it could certainly happen. Right now, just not much attention is paid to them, but in the future, definitely will be. Fred, hello. Massive one says XRP's fiat vet is pumping. Why not take advantage of garbage available? XRP has been on a downward spiral for a long time. Great project for a long time hold with XRP. I'm not trying to. I don't know what you're trying to say there. If you're saying XRP is a good hold, um, it could be, but right now it is on a downward spiral, and it doesn't seem like there's any floor for XRP right now. You know, the diehard XRP fans are still claiming to it, like Bitcoin fans, right? There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to just believe that it's gonna come back, and it possibly will. But if you look at, you look at this, it's just there's no momentum. There's no floor. It just keeps going lower, right? Most altcoins in 2018 and 2019 formed a bottom somewhere, and it kind of went up from there, and it's coming down, but still, it hasn't broken that bottom. You look at XRP, it didn't form that bottom. It just keeps going down. So over here about 26 cents was bottom. Then it formed a new one about 23 cents. Now it formed a new one over here, 21 cents, 22 cents. So XRP just keeps going lower. It's not forming a bottom. And right now, even though XRP, Ripple, has a lot of banks and financial institutions signed up with RippleNet, in terms of the ones that are actually utilizing XRP, it's just not enough. Not enough to cause a price spike. Right now, with Ripple continuing to sell whatever they can every quarter, with Jem McCaleb getting whatever he gets from Ripple, and he's selling it because he hates Ripple, that's just still causing a lot of downward spiral. So we just gotta wait. Gotta wait until XRP finds its true bottom and then starts going up, and that'll be a good buying point. But if you believe in XRP for long haul, dollar cost averaging, XRP, it could work, but right now it's too dangerous. It just keeps going down. There's just no floor. So I don't know. No, I'm not. I'm not a fan of any AI projects. Okay, so you're asking about Fetch AI, Matrix AI, whatever else out there. Not a fan of AI projects in the crypto space. It's just blockchain itself is too early. Crypto itself is too early. AI is still too early. And you combine three things that's all too early, so it's just not going to work. So I'm not a fan of AI projects right now in the crypto space. Why is China trying to cool interest in crypto after hyping them? I think it's because they didn't anticipate how fast the news was spread. I think President Xi kind of slipped up and kind of prematurely said that, China should embrace blockchain maybe a bit early, or maybe he thought no one would care. But that news spread too much and their digital yuan is not ready. Maybe he thought that they were ready to deploy and they weren't, right? So now he's curbing enthusiasm a little bit. But I think the cat's already out of the bag. That's the way. This is the way they're gonna go. They go try to dominate the crypto space. Okay, and once they come out with their own digital yuan, they go cater to blockchain companies that's coming out of China, that's in China. They might open up crypto trading of just Chinese-based crypto tokens or coins. This is all leading up to something. So there's big stuff going to happen in 2020. Crypto Nord, time to buy VET. Well, right now VET is certainly pumping, right? And it goes through pumps. And you know what? Certain times, oh, that's a bad chart. Certain times it does come back down, right? Nothing goes up forever. So take a look. So these lines I drew previously. I didn't even know I drew these lines. But anyways, I'll just get rid of these. But the important thing is that the momentum is behind VeChain right now. They continue to come up with big news stories like this, which previously had no effect on the price whatsoever, zero. And there were some big ones that came out in early 2019 and 2018. But now every single thing is helping the case, and that's a good thing. And how fast can it grow? How much it could go? There's certainly a lot more. We still haven't even reached the all-time highs back in June of 2019, and that is still way higher. Actually, let me show you the one versus BTC. That looks a little bit better. Where's the one I had versus BTC? Here we go. So versus BTC, it could still go up about 50% from where it is here, and to all-time highs way, way, way low. So compared to where it was before, there's still a lot of room to grow. But it does always, after it goes through tremendous pumps, it does always retract, you see here. But next time there's a weakness, next time it comes down, right? That's gonna be a good buying opportunity. So I don't know where that's gonna be. It could come a few days from now. It could come a week from now. It'll probably drop back to the EMA 21, which will become a support. So probably around 89, 90, 91 Satoshis, around there. BAT seems like a bargain right now. Do you agree? BAT goes through. BAT, basic attention token, also a project I believe a lot. They go up and down, right? So take a look. Up and down, up and down. This is a longer chart. Let's go to 1 month. So they had a pretty sizable gain up to here, almost 400 million, and then since then they've been going down, which is kind of interesting. I'm not sure why, but Brave is being used more and more every single month, right? People are utilizing BAT tokens for Brave, for advertisements and so forth, right? Getting rewards. So I'm not sure why there is more weakness, but I do like BAT quite a bit, and I like Brendan Ike. He's definitely a genius in this space. But if you look at it right now, when it was on an uptrend, this is how you could tell when there's, true momentum. When the EMA 21 becomes a support, and it was from this point, October, all the way up to November of 19. So a full month, it was just going nothing but ups. But something happened here where it just started dumping. So we'll see. We'll see when it comes back up. But I think BAT is also one to hold for long term. Because, excuse me, I think they're going to do great things in the future. And I still maintain this. I still think Brave is a great acquisition target. Not that I don't know, Brendan Ike wants to sell or whatever sell, but Microsoft would be a big candidate. Or I should say, Brave and Bat would be a perfect candidate for Microsoft to gobble up. It would cost them almost nothing, and then they get a great browser that competes with Chrome, and they get a great digital advertisement system that can, try to compete with Google AdWords. Although Microsoft will want to monetize, right? So they want to track this data where Brave and Bat is against tracking. So not sure it will happen. Maybe Brendan holds his ground and he says no to money. But Microsoft could pay a few billion for Bat and Brave, and it would be chump shame to them. But for Bat, it would make a big difference. Imagine Microsoft offered $2 billion for Bat. That would be 10x. So everyone's token would go up 10x within a single day, right? So I don't think anyone would complain. But that's interesting to see or think about. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but if it does, it'll be great. Grain of salt. There's a lot. There's a lot out there. I mean, there's a lot of universal wallets out there, but VeChain's own wallet is good. I mean, it depends on where you want. I don't know which one you store, but just look at them. There's a few that's pretty good. All right, that's pretty much it, guys. So, VeChain's potential definitely good. They have basically big news coming out every week or every 2 weeks, and it's helping them in a big way. The rest of the market right now is just going nowhere. Bitcoin 7,300. Rest of the market, take a look. Almost everything is in red. So what's going on with that? I don't know. Can I get some momentum back? We got 7,800 gap to fill on CME, so that could help. And we're in December, year-end rally. That can certainly help. That's a real thing. That's a legit thing, at least for the stock market. So will some of that money flow into Bitcoin? Quite possibly, right? And of course, after we move into 2020, we still have the big halving event. And even if the halving event doesn't do anything, well, history shows that after a halving event, around 6 months afterwards, that's when we go into a parabolic rise. So we got that to look forward to as well. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you smash with the likes. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And happy Monday. And I'll see you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.